Hello. This is Knitting Podcast 2. It is night right now, so I'm filming this with my lamp right in front of me, and I'm also in my pajamas, so hopefully you're in your pajamas too, and we can all get ready for bed with some knitting and a drink. Maybe also a midnight snack. Okay, this video is not gonna hopefully be as long as my other video. That was a really long video because I showed like everything I've ever made, and if you want to see that video, it's in my profile on my channel, so yeah. But we'll just get right into it. This vest I made, I'm really proud of this. It is basically self-drafted. I say basically because I used some numbers from a different pattern. So I used her pattern to do the sizing as well as this twisted rib element that she used, but everything else I kind of went off on. And I did little intarsia, little moments of a bunny, a key, my initials, some squares, a bird, some flowers, and I did this in the style of like early American samplers because I find them very inspirational. And then this is the back, some more cables, and then these little flower details, and then this little weird one that I really badly duplicate stitch. So basically I was like, okay, I can't use duplicate stitch. So when I did the front, because I did the back panel and then the front panel, and I realized that I could not do duplicate stitch and I had to do intarsia. I think this yarn just like, and this gauge just wasn't gonna handle duplicate stitch well. The buttons, I will show you each one. This is a faceted cut steel button. It's beautiful and very shiny. It's probably from like 1850, if I had to guess. And then alternating down are these, like, they might be porcelain or ceramic antique buttons, also Victorian. And I collect these, and there's a really big one down here that's really nice and milky. And this is a shell button with like a flower carved into it. I hope you can see that. And then these gray buttons are actually like a smoky iridescent shell button with like a very geometrical and intricate carving. I know it's not focusing very well, but I hope you can see it. Anyways, I'm gonna put it on over my really puffy shirt. And I might want to make it a cardigan, but I also think it's pretty cute. Just like this. Obviously not with pajama pants, but yeah, with a long sleeve, it's really cute. I do have the sleeve. I started it, and it would be a bottom up sleeve because everything in this pattern is bottom up, and I probably would redo it from the sleeve head down, but then you have to work short rows, and I'm not totally sure how I'm gonna workshop that yet, but I don't know, because like I'm using her numbers, but I really am not using her like instructions as carefully. So yeah, it's like we're collaborating. I definitely have gone very off the script. But yeah, the dark brown wool is the same here and here. I don't remember the name of the brand. I think it was maybe like Elena. It's a sport weight rustic, like very rustic yarn, and I think it's spun in Romania. And then this beige is like Pearl Soho good wool, I think. And I really like this. It's like really soft, and I really enjoyed using this beige wool. It's really nice. This dark brown is good. It's just, yeah, very rustic. So I probably wouldn't want it for something, like to make a whole garment out of that. But, you know, I do love rustic yarn. Okay. I also wanted to show this bralette that I made. It wasn't like, I didn't make it super recently. Maybe like a few months ago. It's made with Sea Change Fibers yarn in like a silk linen wool blend. And it has lace along the bottom in a silky fingering weight. And the top one is a sport weight. And this is the Nurture bralette. It looks kind of terrible, but it's really cute on. You shape the bust with short rows, which is really cool. And then you work like I-cord straps. I think they were I-cord. It's been a minute. I think I made it in like June. But it wasn't in my other video, I think, so I wanted to just include it because I do really like it and I wear it a lot. And it uses twisted rib that goes into this like leaf motif right here. So that's cool. I also started some socks, and they are lace socks. I don't know if you can really tell. This is also a free pattern. They look kind of better in real life because I feel like it's really hard to tell what's happening with the lace. It's kind of just like a, you know, floralish pattern. And yeah, it's just a fingering weight navy blue yarn that I picked up. This is also a free pattern, and I will also link it. It is by a designer that I can't remember the name of, but she makes really cool sock patterns. And they're all free, I think. And I really like her because she makes really interesting sock patterns, like really cool ones that are just, they're like, some of them are really advanced, which I like. I like to see that. And so she's an exciting lady. A whip that has been a whip for longer than I'd like to admit. This is Knitting for Olive heavy merino in the color Ballerina. Kind of like brings out my acne like crazy, and so I feel like I've been kind of on paralysis mode on if I want to continue making this. I know I want to make this garment. I'm just like, do I want to knit it in this color? This is one of my favorite colors though, but you guys let me know. Do you think I should finish this or not? It is the Beatrix cardigan by Gregoria Fibers, which is such a cool pattern. I'm like obsessed with this pattern. Like, I think it's so cool, unique, and beautiful. And I really want to make it, so maybe I just say fuck it and do it. But I also don't have enough of this yarn, so I'd have to like buy more and all that, and then you know how it goes. So yeah, but I think I will make it either in this yarn or a different yarn. But yeah, I'm really excited about the pattern, and I do love the texture of this. I'm just like, does the color look weird on me? Maybe it does, but maybe who cares, you know, because YOLO, and it's more fun to wear colors that you like versus always caring about how other people perceive you in those colors. Period. Okay. Let's do this one. This is a really crazy pattern. I mean, project. I'm just warning you guys, it's really crazy. So I entered a crazy knitting slump where I was getting knitting depression and nothing was hitting. Like, nothing was hitting good, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't care. Nothing was exciting me, so I wanted to knit something really easy, and I had a ton of black Angora in my stash that was stressing me out because I don't like knitting anything black. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make something that's just like really comfortable with this black Angora. It'll be something really easy. So I was like, I'm gonna knit the Loopy Studios stripe cardi, but I was just gonna knit it black then as you can see, I kind of went off script, and I had all these extra mohair scraps, and out of context this might look insane, but my roommates and I watched Coraline, and I really was like, I love the colors in this movie so much. So I had also this very dark blue mohair. So I held it with the black to thicken it up a little bit. And then I was like, wait, what if I put in orange? What if I put in pink? And so then I kind of ended up with this kind of glowy mohair situation. And then I started going wild. I still have to block it. It's really cropped right now. But my thinking was because the gauge was so meshy that when I blocked it, it would grow a lot. So that's why I left it really short. I also modified the pattern a little bit by doing yarn over increases instead of, I think she does lifted increases. And I'm still working on the sleeves. But then I got kind of crazy and I was like, I'm gonna do beading on it. Because I want it to look like a galaxy. And then this is another one of my projects where I went crazy with buttons, but you can see I have like a iridescent moon bead, and then I did these green beads to symbolize like the seeing stone that she uses. I have a shooting star right here, and I have this little dangly thing that I made. I don't know, it's just kind of random, but I really liked this button. I think it's super old. I mean, all of my buttons are antique, pretty much. I don't use any, like, contemporary buttons, or even really, like, vintage. I try to go, like, really old with my buttons, because it's just, like, one of my hobbies is button collecting, and knitting my own garments is really one of the only ways I can use them. So I try and be thoughtful with my button placement. This one is a little bit crazy because the fabric that something so meshy makes means it's hard to place buttons down. But this is a Whistler button, which means that even though there's 2 holes on the back, but they pass through 1 hole on the front. So it gives the appearance of that 1 hole on the front, even though the back has 2. And it's iridescent. It's really pretty. Then I chose this pink iridescent shell button. And then this triangle shell button that I liked because it reminded me of her hagstone, her triangle green hagstone. And then this one is another iridescent shell with like a hexagon carved into it. And then these 3 are Victorian and they're super cool. They have an iridescent black kind of pearlescent base with a gold foil inside, and then in a star shape it's like a woven, like, I wish this would focus. It's not gonna focus, but it's like iridescent pink and purple like threads that are woven in there, and it's super cool. And I only had 3 of them, so put them on there. And then let's see, just another iridescent shell button, and then this glass Victorian button with some copper goldish glitter and some blue. It's a little too heavy for the fabric, but yeah, this is just meant to be really fun and creative. It's not necessarily meant to be like a super wearable polished garment. It does also still need neckline ribbing, but I think I'm gonna give it to my sister because she definitely wears like a lot of darker clothes than me, and she also loves Coraline, and I think it would just be like super, super cute on her. So that's my plan for now. Now, this is another whip. It is the Tapeton sweater, I think that's how you say it, by Teti Looksack, and I am one of the test knitters. And this is a really cool project if you are like me and you love to buy secondhand yarn and you have a lot of different yarns like swimming around your stash. It's really cool. It has like a detached collar that you then you bind off the collar and then you pick up stitches. And it's really cool because then you have like these holes. I think that's super interesting. And then she uses like pearl stitches for like an inlaid color work effect. And then you do it again. And then I kind of did like a gradient thing out. It's a pretty thick sweater, and I definitely am gonna block the hell out of it. But it's really cool, and I'm super... It's a really cool sweater, and I'm really happy to be one of the testers, and I can't wait to wear this winter. Yeah, I'm just really excited about it. Okay guys, sorry, I had to go find the top and then put it on, but this is my second, I guess, finished object. Sorry, you can kind of see my boobs in this lighting, but it is the Brightest Tea by Lily Kate France, and I really like the pattern, but I didn't have just one color. So I knit the bust down to the bottom of my bust, like the top to the bottom of my bust, in Monostil Urgai Fino in like a pink color, but it's kind of showing up as beige in the lighting. And then I had this other Monos Fino yarn that was like pink and blue stripes. So I did that, and then I did some lace at the bottom. The lace is not in the pattern. And I also did an eyelet row under my bust to put like a ribbon. And then little cap sleeves like she has in her pattern. And then all the buttons I'll show you. They're all antique pearlescent shell buttons. And it's cool because then I can like unbutton some of them if I'm feeling scandalous, or just like want something a little more open or whatnot. Okay. Anyways, you get the gist. Yeah, so that is this finished object. I will also say that I finished beanie number 6 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and for some reason I have lost it. Don't know where it is. So when I find it, I'll include it in the next video. I also made these little wrist warmers that I was gonna wear for Halloween with my Halloween costume. I was gonna be Alice from Alice in Wonderland in the 2010 version of the movie, which is like one of my favorite movies ever. And I put these beautiful black glass Victorian buttons because they reminded me of her black buttons that she has on the front of her bodice, and also on her necklace there's like a little I think it's like a dark bead. And yeah, so I made these, and these are the White Rabbit wristies. Of course, I'll also put the pattern on the screen. But yeah, these are just mohair scraps, and they are really easy, and they're super warm, surprisingly. I kind of wish I made them a little bit longer, but this is what the pattern said. And if you look at the pictures of her from the movie, her gloves are like pretty short, so this is technically accurate, but maybe if I could go back in time, I would make them a little bit longer, just because they feel kind of short to me. Like, I don't really wear gloves that are that small, but it is cute because in the movie they're not actually like for warmth, they're like for style, and they're made from like a very fine fabric. They're not knitted mohair. But they are really cute, and I think they would look really good under a sweater, or something that covered up my sleeves. Even though she wears it with her arms out, I'm not her, so I'm not as like perfect as she is. So yeah, but that I think is the end of my video today. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. I really appreciate it. I really hope you have the best of luck on your projects and whatever you're working on. Please type down below what you're working on so I can get inspo, because I'm always needing help to get new ideas, and I love to see what other people are doing. It really is like one of my favorite parts about knitting is like seeing what everyone else makes and thinks of, because I just love how smart everyone is. Everyone is so genius, and that's awesome. So yeah, thank you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day or night, and I really appreciate you. Okay, bye. Mwah.